What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Bruja Africana, coming to you all with a tarot reading. Go ahead and like my channel and subscribe to my channel so you can keep getting this heat. Sorry I've been on a hiatus, but shit happens. And you know, sometimes you gotta take a break. Well, my little break is over and I'm back to get y'all these readings. And we're gonna get to talking about Ciara and Russell. Y'all asked for this reading. You asked a long time ago, and I had to sit and, figure their reading out because I wanted to make sure that I made mention of the fact that it may not have, well, it was collective effort on both Ciara and Russell's behalf, but I want to make sure that I make it clear that it was more so what Russell Wilson was praying for versus Ciara. Now, don't get me wrong, hear me out. They both were looking for love. They both had opened themselves up to receiving love from the universe. Each of them were essentially seeking the same thing, but they were using different verbiage, if you will, when they were speaking to the universe. So anyway, let's go ahead and let's talk about Russell first. Russell is showing up as the emperor. He of course had his situation go on with his ex prior to Ciara, and I'm sure he's got a host of stories about women that he's been with. Not dogging women out, because I've never seen a story about Russell Wilson being a womanizer at all. But since that situation broke up, Russell Wilson began to go within himself. He's a good Christian, God fearing man, and I say that without any humor attached to it. If you are a Christian, welcome, baby. You are welcome to worship how you worship. Um, we're not against Christianity over here. We are. I'm not a Christian, but it is part of our heritage as African Americans, and I don't think that we should throw it away. Um, but Russell was looking for a wife, and Ciara wasn't necessarily looking for a husband, so to speak. We're not going to talk about Russell. We're going to talk about Ciara, excuse me. That was me showing that Russell and Ciara came together and made a child and made a life. Woman and man found each other. Anyway, let's talk about Ciara. She is the Scorpio, showing up as the death card. Don't know if this is maybe or was a life cycle or some shit Ciara had to go through to grow before she could meet a Russell Wilson, if you will. Um, but it's like a karmic cycle that has happened to her, and maybe her Jupiter return has slowed down, and she has received what it is that she asked the universe for. Bottom line, Ciara knew that she was maybe attached to some fucked up situations. She knows that some of those fucked up relationships and situations that she had were very public, and the most public one produced her child, her son, Little Future. So she, with the devil card showing up in the Six of Baskets, although she had fun, a lot of fun in those relationships, and she did a lot of shit, she knew that those situations were no longer good for her and they no longer served her because she was attracting the same type of niggas over and over again. She had gotten to the point where that she like, well, what is it that it is about me that is attracting these men who cannot be faithful, cannot put value in our relationship. The normal questions girls ask when they trying to figure out, sift out, and vet these niggas before we move on. She like, what is it about me? What internal conflict is it within me that is causing me to seek out these situations with these toxic men, these situations where I'm always defending the relationship or defending my space in the relationship, defending who I am, fighting with the nigga, Five of Swords energy. We always got some verbal backlash going on. I feel like that was her in Future, though, with that Five of Swords energy, when she's thinking about, with the devil card, the situations that caused her the most heartache. I think it was Future, because they were both Scorpios, or they're both Scorpios. And baby, I know them arguments was vicious, okay? I know they both was hitting below the belt. But anyway, throughout all of this shit, Ciara had gotten to the point where is that she was with the Eight of Swords energy. She like couldn't face herself. She not necessarily was feeling embarrassed about the relationship failing with Future, but she did feel a little bit embarrassment because he was cheating on her. And she was like, I done got tired of dealing with this type of shit, and here I am going round and round this circle with another man, and only this time, here comes the Ten of Wands showing up, meaning that she ended up having a child in the situation with him. That's them being legally bound with the Son of Coins showing up, showing that they share a child together. That's the only legal tie that her and Future was supposed to have. He served his purpose in her life. He was supposed to bring her son to her. Well, eventually she had enough. She showed up with her Nine of Wands energy, and she like, you know what? All this fighting and fussing and shit, it's not only not good for me and my emotional health, it's not good for my damn son. And what if we decide to get married, or if they really had gotten married? She like, what if we get married and this behavior continues? What if it was a whole bunch of what ifs, and none of the what ifs were mattering. None of them were weighing as much as the drama that Future was putting her through. So she decided to leave. There she is with the Eight of Baskets. That is that I'm leaving situation. At first it may have been a situation where she wasn't permanently gone, but now she definitely is, or the more toxic their breakup became, she really let Future the fuck go. But in her letting him go, she had to realize that there was something fucked up within her too, y'all. And this is just conjecture, but just want to let y'all know that, like, Ciara really took control of her own self emotionally, and she practiced accountability. That's what the magician, the hermit, and the hangman card is showing. She like, hold on, maybe I need to slow the fuck down and take control of what I got going on here, because I can't control nobody else. I can't control what these niggas do, what they gonna do, none of that. But what I can control is my emotions, and what I can control is the type of men that I am going after. Thing is, Sierra judged the fuck out of herself really hard, with that judgment card showing up with the Four of Baskets, Seven of Baskets, and the Three of Coins. She judged the fuck out of herself, and she sat back and possibly made a pro and con list about herself. See, it was all about her internal struggles being healed. She couldn't look at herself. She like, who the fuck have I become out here dealing with these dudes that ain't right for me? I'm accepting shit from niggas just to have a nigga. Like, who the fuck am I? And what I mean by accepting shit, like, she tolerating stupidity, you know, letting a nigga come back after he done cheated, stupid shit like that. So she had gotten to the point like, yo, I need to do some self work, some self healing. I need to do some Three of Coins energy on myself. See, it wasn't necessarily about her searching for a man. She was searching for the peace within Sierra. She like, look, it's not only these dudes' fault, it's something that I got wrong with me. And she wasn't saying it built up or based off of her losing boyfriends. She was doing it because now she has a son, with the Son of Knives showing up, and she didn't want her son to become the type of man that, and no disrespect to Future at all, she didn't want her son to become the type of man that Future is. Babies every fucking where, clearly commitment phobic, can't settle down, 40 years old, still out here playing. Yeah, she didn't want that for her son. But in order for her not to make her son turn into that, because that's exactly what he would have turned into had she stayed with Future, or if she had stayed on a tirade about how he ain't shit. She had to look at it like, look, it's time for me to pull myself up from this stupidity that I'm allowing myself to go through, because she's right. We ladies, we allow ourselves to go through this shit just in the name of love. We forget about ourselves. And although she knew that she ain't completely emotionally there, or her emotions were all over the place, let me put it like that. The Five of Coins energy, she knew with the Queen of Wands showing up that she could grow herself into the type of woman that she could be proud of. And I'm not saying that Sierra wasn't proud of herself, but she was more so in the mind state of, it's time for me to do work on myself. If I said that this is what I want in a relationship, I have to be able to present that. That's exactly what she did. She went within and she gathered her strength and made sure that she learned to control her emotions, and she did that shadow work. The strength card, native coin showing up. She knew, like I said, daughter of coins energy, she knew that she wasn't emotionally mature herself. She knows that, or she knew at least then, before she met Russell, she wasn't really ready to be in a real serious relationship herself. This is why subconsciously she kept reaching for a future, a bow wow, a 50. These are why she was reaching for these emotionally stagnant niggas like that. So she took this as an opportunity to work on herself. That Six of Swords energy in the prior frame showed her pulling herself up from this. Like, look, I know it's going to be a mountain to climb, and I know that I'll never get to the exact top of it, but here's hoping, and I'm willing to do the work on myself. So she went on and she prayed, and she at least told the universe with the Fool card and the Two of Wands. She like, now look, although I'm doing this self work and working all on myself, I still want the opportunity to be able to attract love. So it was a thing of her not closing off her options or being too closed off to love. She goes in with the Ace of Wands energy and the Daughter of Wands. She asked the universe to open the road up, excuse me, so that she could meet a good man, a father of coins, if you will, that comes equipped with the Ten of Baskets, meaning he's got money and he is emotionally stable. He's here for her. His emotions are he caught up in her basically. She basically was praying to get Russell Wilson and she didn't know that she was praying to get Russell Wilson. But in the event of her not even just sitting down praying, oh, I need a man, I need a man. No, that's not what she was doing. She literally just said a prayer that welcomed love into her life while she worked on herself. And work on herself she did. Now let's talk about Russell Wilson showing up as the Sagittarius. Look, he must be the only good Sagittarius male on the planet because he shows up in the Temperance card position with the Moon card. He too, like I said, knew that he had some shit going on with himself that he had to work on, but he literally was petitioning the universe for love. He shows up with the Moon card and the Lovers card with the Father of Knives and the Daughter of Knives showing up, saying maybe in his prayer, Dear Father, I know that I'm not perfect and I do not expect a perfect woman. And this is just my analysis of what his cards are giving with the King and Queen of Swords, if you want to know what those two cards were. Not that either of them were, perfect, but it was a thing of he say, I want to meet my equal. I want to meet somebody who has lived her life or has been through some things so that I don't have to teach her but so much. Russell was looking for his next successful relationship, his next long-term relationship, not necessarily, oh, I'm looking for my girlfriend. No, he literally was looking for a wife. In that first frame, y'all saw the Emperor and the Empress. That was why it was about the reading is overall about Russell Wilson praying to the universe directly for a wife and him meeting her on the level emotionally that she's on. Now, again, I'm not trying to say that he was so grown, he was just perfect. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is he was gentle enough to allow the universe to work on him as well so that he can be a good spouse to somebody. Not only that, he remained hopeful with the star card showing up. He remained hopeful regarding love. He felt like shit. I mean, I'm going to just wait on the universe. I'm going to wait on God. Nine of Coins energy, that's somebody that's waiting because they know that whatever it is that they've asked God for, the universe, the spiritual team, whomever it is, I'm going to get it. That's the energy that he's giving or that he gave. So again, he went and he prayed to the universe and told him, like, look, I'm ready to be somebody's father. I'm ready to be somebody's husband. The King of Wands energy said it all. He was longing to have a family. So again, Eight of Wands energy shows up. He prayed to receive a wife. That's how he ended up with Ciara. Not how he ended up with. That sounded really crazy. Let me rephrase that. His prayers and her prayers combined together led them to each other because both of them were hopeful for love, more so Russell than Ciara. That's how they ended up meeting each other. The process had already begun when they each had begun working on themselves and outlining to the universe what it is, or to God what it is that they wanted, which is why the Sun card shows up with the Father of Wands and the Eight of Wands. The process began when they both began praying, not together, but when their prayers became in alignment with each other. The universe said, aha, this is who it is that we should patch together. So again, this is how, Ciara runs into Russell. And I forget exactly how they met, but they met. And she came equipped with a son. And remember, I said that Russell Wilson was praying and saying that he wanted to be a father with that Father of Wands card showing up. The universe gave him that and then some. With that Four of Wands showing up, he really did have a very close relationship with Ciara's son, maybe first. Not like, oh, he's spending time with him or nothing like that alone, but he saw some light in Ciara's son, and it made him want to get closer and closer to Ciara, because if this boy is exuding this type of energy, what is his mama like? So he began talking to Ciara, and they started, kicking it, doing their thing. And here we are. How long have they been married? 7 years. Here we are 7 years later, and it's the Wilsons. Ciara and Russell ends up getting married, and with that sign card showing up, they produced many children. They have four, I believe now. They have Future, Win, Sienna, and the new baby. I don't know the new baby's name. Yeah, they have four children now. But Ciara found Russell, and Russell found Ciara simply because both of their prayers were in alignment. Sometimes we should think about put out there what you want to receive and don't worry about nothing else. All right, y'all.